Going to, is that number 6?
Yeah, panel 4.
Panel 4, and that will consist of Greg Volz, the Executive Director from Chester High School, Brian Foster, and if you'll come forth, thank you. And Jamar Sanders. Jamal. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I have Brian and Jamar with me. Normally, I would think the polite thing to do would be to let them speak first.
Okay, it's fine.
But I was encouraged.
Bring the mic a little closer to you, please.
Sure. I was encouraged to speak first, but I don't have to. I don't know, given what I've heard this morning, if maybe hearing the students might make more sense than,
It's fine with us.
than me. So why don't we start with Jamar?
Jamar,
Hello.
welcome.
I'm Jamar Saunders. I am a member of the Executive Board and one of the founding members of Youth Court, Chester High Youth Court. And I want to thank you for having me tell my story and my testimony today. Well, I'd always been a straight A student in school until the 9th grade. When I entered high school was very challenging to me because it was hard to adapt to a new social environment. I found myself in a bad situation. My grades fell because of a lack of interest in school and in life. I did not go to class because I was not interested in subjects that I had to learn about. And that made me bored. I started hanging out with a bad crowd, skipping classes became a bad habit. Quickly, my grades fell tremendously in all of my classes. But the bad crowd was the only group of people who would accept me for who I was. The crowd I was hanging out with was involved in gang-related activities, and school was no longer a priority. Then one day, my friend's parole officer told him to check out a program which turned out to be a youth court. We were told we would get free computers if we participated in youth court, so I started to participate. After a while participating, I started to really enjoy the program, and I started to really care for it, so I ended up forgetting about even receiving a computer. Well, my friends left the youth court eventually, but I decided to stay. At first, youth court was difficult because of the different things we had to learn, such as how to question a respondent, and we also had to deal with a lack of student participation. I stayed in youth court because of the lessons youth court has taught me. Youth court taught me that the importance of education helped me develop social skills, helped me develop better leadership skills, and helped me develop my interest in law. Youth court became something that I could own because I had put so much of my time and effort into making it work. Most importantly, I found positive friendship in youth court. I learned the environment at Chester High affected how students felt about school and their community and their education. Youth court also gave me a role to play in my community as a leader. Without youth court, I will probably be roaming the streets, still in 9th grade, hanging out with the same bad crowd and not thinking about my future. Now I want to go to college to focus on science, maybe forensic science. By the end of my freshman year, I had a 1.4 GPA. It's really bad. And now at the end of my junior year, I have a 3.9 GPA. I plan on continuing my work with youth court my senior year. I want youth court to grow and help more students realize that education is important and get more students interested in law and change the negative outlook students have on law. And that is my testimony.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Brian Foster. I am also a founding member of Chester Youth Court, and now I am a current executive board member of Youth Court. Thank you for having me also to share my testimony, my story with you today. To start off, the Youth Court played an important role in my development as a leader. Before I started Youth Court, helping a fellow student to make better decisions was not on my agenda. Before I started Youth Court, I was more of a knucklehead who was bent on looking out for myself than helping other people. I stayed in trouble most of my life. Getting suspended all the time, getting suspensions was really normal to me. That's the mentality I had in my head. I always had an I don't care attitude because I didn't care about anything or anybody. I was not a social person. I also had a temper problem that got me into trouble. I found out about Youth Court from a school resource officer by the name of Timothy Jones. At first, I did not want to join Youth Court, but my attitude changed once I was introduced to the goals of Youth Court. I like how Youth Court helps students learn from their mistakes instead of suspending them. The mentality of the students at school is that because it is so easy to be suspended, it's not a big deal. The students do not care if they are suspended because they do not want to be at school anyway. Being suspended is more of a treat than a punishment. Instead of suspending students, the Youth Court students take responsibility for their actions and realize that actions have effects on others. The Youth Court helped me find a talent that I never knew I had. I became more social and more tolerant of other people. I became more helpful, like making sure that respondents are doing well with their dispositions, checking up on them in school by just saying hi or helping them, asking them how their life is going so far. I took on these responsibilities before I even became a member of the executive board. Youth Court means a lot to me. I want to be able to give students a second chance like I was given a second chance. Last year, while I was a member of Youth Court, I was given a second chance. The situation, I had got into trouble, and I was on the verge of going to a juvenile detention center. A student was assaulted, or rather jumped, and the people that jumped him were associates of mine. I didn't know that they jumped him, but I knew them, and me not giving the information caused me to get into a lot of trouble. Luckily, I was given a second chance because I was telling the truth and in my heart that I wanted to make a change in my life, and that turned me around. It helped me because I wouldn't be here before you today if I wasn't given a second chance. Me being put in a juvenile detention center would give me the same mentality that I had before I joined Youth Court. I plan on finishing high school by continuing my work with Youth Court, and I want to encourage students to join Youth Court and make decisions that will benefit them because they have a chance to improve themselves like I did. After graduation, I plan on going to college to become an audio engineer. Thank you.